It's me again, Ryan, and I'm here to tell you about the sixth day of Christmas, in which we will be showcasing the lovely world of Snowman.
Alright, you guys, 12 days of Christmas, day 6, Snowman. Rustic and Lace DIYs is our host, and Krista's Crafty Life. Let's have some fun with some crystallized men. DIY number 1. So I have this piece of board that I had in my stash, and we're going to paint them white. I had this little sock in my stash, and we're going to just pop it right on top of this little board. I am going to tie it off at the very top with a piece of jute twine. I do cut the very top of this just to kind of give it a little bit more of a puffball kind of look. And then I'm kind of going to glue around the edges and stuff. I do kind of have a little bit of a frame with this just to kind of make it look like a little bit more of a rim of his hat. And then I do glue down the hat onto the board. I do have these faces that I got in a stencil pack. Granted, a face is not real hard to paint on them, depending on how extreme you're gonna go. But I thought I would use them since I have them. This one is extremely cute. I'm just gonna take some black acrylic paint. I think this is in jet black, and I am just gonna pounce a little bit. Try to make sure that your stencil is laid down flat, and to make sure that you offload your stencil brush. I did have a little bit of leakage around my stencil on the mouth. So here I'm just kind of touching that up just a little bit with our white paint that I used. I used a crinoline in DIY. And it didn't take me too long. And then I grabbed that same paintbrush and I just dabbed a little bit into our black paint that I had on my little pad there. And I just gave a little bit of lines for some rustic detailing on the carrot, and I glued down a little bit of greenery. Now I'm going to take another piece of that sock that I had in my stash, and we're going to tie it a little around his neck here to make it look like a scarf. I am stretching it pretty hard just to kind of make it stretch all the way around. I kind of wanted to crisscross it and everything, but it's pretty self-explanatory. And then I do add a little black button way down at the very bottom to kind of make it look like he's going to have his little buttons down his belly. And he does sit up like a little self-sitter. DIY number 2. So here I grab a homemade piece of material. This one I actually tied off. This is one that is a scrap piece, and I just tied the bottom of the sock with some jute twine. And then I flipped it inside out, and now I'm going to fill it with rice just to give him a little weight. And I'm going to stuff him quite full with polyfill. And then I'm going to tie the very top of him with jute twine. No, I'm not making a gnome, you guys. I know everybody thinks probably at this point that I'm going to be making a gnome, but we're in different category here. We're making snowmen. So what do you think I'm going to be making, guys? I mean, come on. I do have a scrap piece of ribbon. And I'm just going to take the wire out because we do not need the wire. And I'm going to tie it right in between right in the middle of our body here. And I'm going to tie it in a knot pretty tight around his little body to kind of tie it in the middle of to make it look like two separate snowballs, basically. I did have this hat in my stash probably since last year. I believe I got it from either Michael's or Hobby Lobby because it did have a price tag of like $6.99. I know for a fact that I did not pay the price for it. I took the little skewer stick or whatever they had in it. I believe it's probably like a little pick that you would put in like a wreath or something, and I just took that out and I'm just gluing that right onto his little head. Now I grabbed a pipe cleaner. It's in, the orange, and we are just going to hot glue a little bit onto the end of it, and I'm going to stick it right into this little sock and make it his little carrot nose. I do have some little decorative black buttons we used for his little buttons on his belly, and I was debating on whether to give him button eyes. I did decide to give him little button eyes. They are miscolored, but I wanted to have them kind of the same size, and that's the only two colors I could find. So, but DIY number 3. And this one, guys, I don't know. I was kind of struggling with, but I think I'm going to have to go in off camera and kind of fix it. It doesn't turn out bad, and I do like the outcome of it. The problem is that I ended up gluing the wood around that you'll see later down a little too close to the bottom edge, but you'll see that. Here I'm just piecing some pieces of wood that I had just to make a big enough plaque kind of for my background. Just using scrap pieces in my stash. Grabbed some scrapbook paper, and I'm just covering that with some glue, and then I'm gonna stick down our scrapbook paper, and then I will cut and use my sanding block to cut off the excess of it. And then I'm going to set that aside and let that dry completely. I'm going to take a frame here, a Dollar Tree canvas frame, and I'm going to Mod Podge this scrapbook paper on the inside. If you do not know what we're going to make here, we are making a busted out canvas. I chose to go with the red and white snowflakes here, and I do go in with my heat gun and dry this off camera. I chose my heat gun because I have a hard time getting my iron in here to dry it completely. I just used my X-Acto knife to puncture a hole in it enough to where I could get my scissors in, and then we're just going to cut enough to where I feel like I'm happy with it. You can choose to not cut as much as I did or whatever. See, this is where I'm talking about. I decided I'm going to use this these wood rounds, and we're going to create a little snowman. Like I said, I do go in and paint these with antique white. This is what I'm talking about though. I ended up gluing my wood round down a little bit too close to that bottom edge. I do pull up the top one here in a minute after I glue them down and move it, because my canvas does not fit on the frame or on the background when I place it down, because my wood round hits it. So I end up pulling up the head of my snowman and replacing it. But my bottom one does not fit either, and I didn't think about this when I glued it down. I figured it would fit, and yeah, it don't. So I'm gonna have to like either cut the bottom of it to where my frame will fit. The top fits now because I moved the little head. But anyway, I'm grabbing a spare piece of sock again, and I'm just, you saw what I'm doing while I'm yakking about my project here. As you see me struggling now to get it on, I do take up the hat, or the head, and figure out, okay, if I kind of make his head pop out a little bit more and glue it down to the body above his head, and then maybe put a tumbling tower block behind it, make his head a little bit more 3D, it'll work on the back side, or on the top of there. So I could at least glue the top of it down. So that's kind of what I did there. So he's at least the top of the canvas is glued down, but the bottom of it is not. The bottom is glued to the wood round, but it's not glued to the bottom of the wood plaque that it's supposed to be glued down to. So it's kind of cockeyed, but I'm kind of just fumbling around with this at this point. But anyway, so we're gonna just go with it at this particular moment, and I do glue down, I fold back my my little canvas pieces here to reveal my cute little snowman. I don't show you all of this. Okay, there we go. And he does turn out absolutely adorable. I chose not to paint the actual canvas on the outside because, white is one of the main colors of the snowman, so it does kind of go with the whole snow effect and everything. This is kind of where we decide to go in with his facial features and everything, and we're going to go in with the black again. I'm going to draw on his little mouth and his little eyes. And then we're going to draw on his little carrot nose here. And then I do grab out 2 black buttons for his little buttons down his belly. And I'll glue those on as well. And there you have it, guys. Final reveal. And like I said, he does turn out adorable. I just think I'm going to have to go in and fix the bottom of him, but let me know, guys, what you think. I like them. I think they all turned out adorable. So let me know which one's your favorite, which one you would like to recreate. And I hope you guys are all enjoying this 12 days of Christmas. We have 6 more days, you guys. I guess this is the 6th one, isn't it? So I guess we have 5 more days. I'm probably going to be missing one of them because one day coming up here is the Just Your Imagination, and I cannot miss Just Your Imagination. I mean, so stick around for that. But we are going to have some crafting fun, and make sure you guys go check out the playlist, you guys. Give them all some love. Go check out Brenda, and go check out Krista over there, and I will see you guys tomorrow. God bless. Mwah. Bye.